We're going to go ahead and start our chapter with section 1.1, dealing with whole numbers, specifically ordering and rounding numbers. In order to do this, we need to first be able to know what are whole numbers. Whole numbers are all your positive numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, plus 0. We're not dealing with any negative numbers here. Now, when we write a number or we're dealing with numbers, you need to be able to be aware of a written form, a word form, and a expanded form. Now, the written form is using the actual number digits. Here we have an example. 4,205,090,036. And make sure you're aware of how we got there. Make sure you know the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place. Okay? The 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s, and then so on. So use this and go back to these notes. You can see the numerical number, the digits in each of those places. 1,205,090,036. Now, when we have a word form, we'll take that numerical value, those digits, and turn them into words, and we're actually writing those words down. 4 billion, we're spelling F-O-U-R-B-I-L-L-I-O-N, and so on. But then when we have a expanded form, what we're going to be doing is just dealing with 4,205,090,000, 30, and then 6. So we're having them separate, showing each place value. That's the expanded form. So please reach out to me if you need help with the written numerical form, the word form, and the expanded form. Okay, so here we have some practice problems. Okay, write the expanded word form. Okay, now just don't copy this. Try and do this without looking. The expanded word form, I'm writing 18, and it's in the millions place, 18 million. Then I find 723,000, and then 30. Now practice 2. Let's write the numerical from the word form. So the word form is 2,572. Let's write the numerical. I'll write the digit 2, 572. Then practice 3, write the expanded form of 24,128. So I'm focusing on 20,000. I'm going to write 20,000, 20, 00, plus 4,000 plus 100 plus 20 plus 8. Now, if there was a 0 in there, I would not be writing a place value for that one. Now, let's focus on comparing whole numbers. If I compare something, I need to deal with two numbers, and I'm going to be looking at, are they the same? Is one bigger than the other? Is one smaller than the other? So I'm comparing whole numbers. Okay, whole numbers. So let's start at the left side, the first choice, and compare the place values. So let's take a look at it. Okay, I'm going to start at the left. 5 and 5. Okay, it's the same for example number 1. Then we have 2 and 2. It's still the same. Then we have 9. Oh, against 3. So the one on the left is 5,293 compared to 5,239. So the one on the left is going to be greater than. And if we look up on top, okay, greater than is an open little alligator pointing to my left. Okay? It's pointing to the left side. It's open. That's going to be greater than. Now, if it was less than, it would be pointing to my right, and it is in the same way, very similar if I would make the letter L. Okay, L for less than. Okay, and then equal to is the equal sign. So number 2, let's take a look. We'll start on the left side. We got 7 and 7. We have 5 and 5, 5,000. We have 0 against 100. So the 75,100 will be greater than the 75,010. So remember, we're always looking at the left-hand side, so the 75,010 is what? Is less than the 75,100. So I look at the left side, that left number is less than 75,100. I'm going to make a little opening to my right-hand side. It looks like an L, like a capital L. So that is my hint for less than. Less than. Let's go to number 3. 674,821. So let's take a look at the left side. Okay, left number the greatest. Okay, 6 and 6. 7. Oh, wait a minute here. Look at the place values. Okay, look where the comma is. Okay, so right there, there's 3 place values for the one on the left, 3 to the left of that comma, while the one on the right, 67,000, only has 2 place values to the left of the comma. Our first number, 674,821, is greater than 67,483. So the greater than is open to my left. It looks like it's going to eat the bigger number. Okay, so here's the ones we just did. You can go ahead and try them, and then we have the answers. And you can see the open one, open to the left, is greater than. The one that looks like an L, that's open to the right, is less than. Now the next part here is putting whole numbers in order. When we order whole numbers, we're going to identify the least and the greatest number. So I want to look at all the numbers, find the smallest, focus on that one first, then find the greatest one, and then focus from there. I'm going to compare all the rest of the numbers in between, and I'm going to list them in order. Now, something that's important, if I say the word ascending, it means it's getting bigger. Now, descending means it's getting smaller. So ascending, I'm going to start smallest to biggest. Descending, I'm going to start biggest, and I'm going to descend, get smaller. I'm going to go down. Descending, go down. Let's go ahead and list these numbers in increasing or ascending order. Okay, ascending is A-S-C, E-N-D-I-N-G. So we have 72,030, 73,020, 73,002, and 72,300. So I want to go smallest to biggest. So let's find the smallest one. Of course, that would probably be one of the 72,000s. And I'm dealing with 72,030, 72,300. So my first one will be 72,030. Now let's find my biggest one of the 73s. 73,020 is bigger than 73,002. Okay, so 72,030, then I go 72,300, then I go 73,002, and then my largest one is 73,020. Okay, so I'm going to have you go ahead and try the next one. You can pause it here, and then I'll give you the answers in a second. Okay, here's the one we did together. I'm putting it in order. smallest to biggest. I start with the smallest, 8,274, and then I place the largest on the other side, 8,742, and then I fill in the other numbers. Okay, now this is one that some students do have some trouble with, rounding whole numbers. Now here's a chart. I do want you to use this chart, and the focus is this is going to help you, okay? Especially if you struggle with rounding numbers. First, you want to underline the digit in the rounding place. Whatever I want to round, I'm going to focus on that number first. I'm going to underline it. Then I'm going to circle the digit to the right, the one that's being rounded up. Okay? So here we have 28,395. And let's say I want to go ahead and round it up to the nearest 10,000ths. So if I want to round it up to the nearest 10,000ths, I'm going to underline the 2. And now I want to focus on, am I going to round it up or not? Now, if I'm focusing on that 2, that means all the rest of these, the 8, the 3, the 9, the 5, will become zeros. So I look at that 8. Is the circled digit, is it going to be 5 or more? Okay, so 8 is greater than 5. We have the greater than sign. So yes. So now I follow yes. Okay, add 1 to the underlined digit. So the underlined digit, that 8 causes the 2 to round up. So I'm going to add 1 to it. That becomes a 3. So that's going to be rounded up to 30,000. Okay, so if I'm going to round up the 10,000ths place, I'm going to underline the 2. I'm going to circle and focus on that thousands place. Is it greater than 5? 8 is greater than 5. I'm going to round it up, and I'm going to make it 30,000. Okay, I'm going to have you go ahead and try these. So let's go ahead and take a look. This number, we're going to do this number to all of them, to the nearest 10 place. So the focus here is the number on top, 1,439,276. Let's round it to the nearest 10. I'm going to underline the 7. So the nearest tens place, I'm going to underline 7, and I'm going to circle the 6. The 6 is greater than 5. It's 5 or greater. So that 7, I'm going to add 1 to it, becomes an 8. So everything to the right of what I'm focusing on rounding becomes a 0. Now let's do the nearest 100. So I'm going to underline the 2, circle the 7. 7 is 5 or greater. So that 2, I'm going to add 1. So that becomes a 3. And I'm rounding up to that 3. So that's 1,439,300. So because I rounded up the hundreds place, all the rest becomes zeros. Now let's do the nearest 1,000. That's going to be the 9. So 1,439,000. Okay, I underline the 9. I look at the 2. I circle the 2. 2 is less than 5. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and turn that to a 0. That 2, that 7, that 6 becomes zeros. And I do not add a 1 to the 9. So it just stays 1,439,000. Okay, so that 9 does not get a 1 added to it. Let's focus on the nearest 10,000. That's going to be the 3. I underline the 3, circle the 9. The 9 is 5 or greater. So I will add 1 to the 3, making that a 4. So that becomes 1,440,000. Okay, all the rest become zeros. Now the nearest 100,000. That's going to be the 4 that I'm dealing with. 1 billion 400,000. Well, 1,439,276. That 4 I underline. The 3 I circle. 3 is less than 5. So basically, I don't add 1. The 3, the 9, the 2, the 7, the 6 all become zeros. To the nearest million, I underline the 1. I circle the 4. 4 is less than 5. So the 4, 3, 9, 2, 7, 6 all become zeros. I do not add a 1 to the 1. So it just stays 1 million. It actually dropped down. That's what I'm rounding. It's closer to 1 million than 2 million. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Send me a Marco Polo. Send me an email. Now, I did give you those 3 worksheets you can practice with, dealing with comparing, rounding, writing out whole numbers. But I also am uploading some questions. It's on the agenda from your textbook. So if you need extra help, go ahead, do those. And I'm going to upload the answer key for that so you can check your answers, okay? Have a wonderful day, guys.